So you are here because you finally want to slow down, right? Because your life is too precious to just let it rush by, moment after moment, year after year. Because maybe the world out there is a little too fast for you, seemingly growing ever faster. Because you finally want to start living in the moment and start seeing all the beauty that surrounds us, instead of mindlessly running from one to-do to the next. Because you finally want to give yourself the time and energy to truly focus on what really matters to you in life. Because you owe it to yourself to make the most of the time you are given that will never come back. You've come to the right place. Hi, this is Liz. I live a slow and simple life in the countryside, and this is what my channel is all about. No more excuses. It's time to make our well-being a priority and to finally slow down. I'll give you 6 concrete steps you can take starting today to start your slow living journey. Are you ready? The first step is an important one. There are only 24 hours in a day. Living a slower life naturally means developing a clearer focus on what truly deserves a place in our lives, what truly deserves our time and attention. Sometimes we are so caught up in all our duties and responsibilities, so caught up in running after goals, that we don't even stop to reflect on what it is that truly makes us happy. If you are starting to live a slower life, I encourage you to grab a pen and a notebook and to first take a good, honest look at everything you are currently pouring your energy into, and to ask yourself what is truly worth it to you. Which moments will you want to look back on when you are 80 years old? Which moments are the ones in which you wish you could just stop and pause for a bit, to just be in the now? What is it that you would do more of if only you had the time? Sometimes we get stuck in routines for so long we don't even question them anymore. But now is the time to do just that. No matter how long you have been pursuing something, no matter how much time and energy you have spent on something, ask yourself honestly which activities, goals, and relationships add genuine meaning to your life. There are so many activities, priorities, and goals society or social media might have planted into our heads that aren't truly our own and will never make us happy. From now on, dare to focus on your priorities, even if they are not currently trending on TikTok. Dare to prioritize time for yourself as if it was an actual appointment. Now is the time to let go of what doesn't add genuine value to our lives. Starting a slow life means to start acknowledging that not every moment has to help us self-optimize, make money, or be efficient. Sitting by grandma's fireplace for an afternoon, sipping a cup of tea and listening to her tell the same old story she told you a dozen times before is not efficient, and you'll get absolutely nothing done. But these can be the moments that add genuine meaning and value to our lives. We call this lifestyle slow living. But when we take a closer look, this lifestyle is in many ways not necessarily slower. It is calmer. It is less hectic, less stressful, less messy. I firmly believe that our surroundings are a reflection of our mind. Decluttering and cleaning our rooms to create a calm space on the outside can have a strong impact on how calm we feel on the inside. But this is not only a psychological phenomenon, it has very practical implications too. A more minimalist space that doesn't contain more than we really need or want is so much easier to clean and keep tidy, saving time and energy we can instead spend on something more meaningful than vacuuming or scrubbing. This also includes getting rid of or repairing things that are broken or don't work the way they should. Surrounding ourselves only with high-quality items that are functional and easy to use, that make our day-to-day workflows smooth and effortless, reduces our mental load and helps us feel calmer. If you feel motivated to declutter and create a calmer space for yourself, research your nearest charity shop or second-hand shop right now that you can donate items to that you don't want to throw away. Put everything you declutter into your car right away so you don't get tempted to keep these things in your home. Incorporating a few slow living rituals into our day can make our whole life feel a lot slower and calmer. Many of these slow rituals can be things we are already doing, but from now on, we start giving them the attention and time they deserve. This can include taking a few minutes in the morning to drink a cup of coffee at home while watching the sunrise instead of grabbing a Starbucks and running to the subway. It can include taking the time to enjoy preparing and eating a meal, either with others or by ourselves, turning it into an opportunity to connect or to be still for a moment. It can be a 30-minute walk after work to get some fresh air and to listen to our own thoughts for a bit without getting distracted. It can be lighting a candle and reading a book in bed before drifting off to sleep. Make it a point to incorporate these slow rituals into every single day until it feels natural. Make them a priority and put them on your calendar instead of only using any time that might be left at the end of a busy day, because usually there isn't any. This helps to not overfill our calendar with to-dos and to prioritize our self-care. And you will notice that these slow rituals don't even take that much longer than they did before, but they leave us with a way calmer mind. Grab your phone right now and block at least 3 time slots on your calendar for slow living rituals throughout the next week. They can be anything you like, from a nature walk to a face mask to dedicating time to a creative hobby. It can be 30 minutes or maybe an hour, and I bet you will still get your to-dos done without sacrificing your well-being. We could often take it a bit slower and invest more time into what truly fulfills us if we spend less time on what exactly? Checking our social media several times a day, accidentally starting to scroll through the feed for several minutes, checking up on what person X is up to even though it isn't of any relevance to us, clicking on random videos or articles on the internet because the title grabbed our attention, although we actually aren't interested enough to even click through the cookie notification. Turning on Netflix and then just staying glued to the screen even though we had other plans that night. The times of spending all day on social media are officially over. Unless you are working in a social media related job, set a specific time every day to check your accounts, see what your friends and family are up to, and then leave it there. If you find yourself constantly checking your phone, try putting it in a place where you can't see it. This could be behind your laptop while working or simply in your pocket. Not seeing your phone lie on the table can help a lot as you are not constantly reminded of it. For some people, it helps to set their phone to silent or even flight mode, and for some, it helps to set their phone to sound. Unless there is a notification sound, there is nothing to check, so no need to grab your phone. Make it a point to turn your devices and everything you can consume through them from a constant background noise back into something you consume with intention. And unless we have the intention to consume something specific, we're gonna focus on what we are doing in the present moment and stay in the now instead of letting a screen constantly distract us. There are many activities that encourage a more slow-paced lifestyle. Spending time outdoors, hiking, swimming, canoeing, camping, or just sitting in a meadow always reminds us of the rhythm of nature, where nothing is ever rushed and everything flows at a calm, steady pace. Creative hobbies such as drawing, painting, reading, knitting, or sewing are perfectly suited for de-stressing and spending some time away from screens and notifications. Plus, we get to acquire skills to make something ourselves, such as our own clothes, which is really fulfilling. My personal favorite hobby is LARP and reenactment, where I live in a medieval setting for a couple of days. There is no better way to slow down than to cook your stew on an open fire, not even knowing what time it is. Another slow activity I love and will try to implement more this year is to write handwritten letters and postcards. In an age in which we start to get impatient if someone hasn't replied to our text within half an hour, we have almost forgotten the excitement of waiting for a letter from our pen friend for a week until we open the mailbox and there it is, a real-world letter in a real-world envelope with our friend's familiar handwriting on it. Who else would like to find a pen friend to write to this year? Let me know in the comments. Mindfulness is an essential part of slow living, but what does that even mean and how can we implement it for a calmer, more peaceful life? Mindfulness essentially means to live in the present moment without being distracted or being somewhere else in our head. This includes many different aspects, such as consciously taking in our surroundings with all our senses, savoring the moment instead of just watching it rush by. It includes being present in conversations, truly listening to what others have to say, and establishing genuine connections instead of just waiting for our turn to talk. It also includes listening to our own body, paying attention to our physical and emotional needs. Rest when you're tired, eat when you're hungry, stay home if you feel sick, and don't push yourself too hard. Journaling is a great way to develop our mindfulness as well. Some people journal with a specific focus, such as gratitude, but I personally just like to reflect on everything that happened that day and my thoughts on it in the moment. It helps us grasp and sort the endless and often overwhelming stream of our thoughts. I encourage you to try a little mindfulness exercise right after watching this video. Sit still for a moment and pay close attention to everything you can see, hear, smell, taste, and feel in this moment. Try implementing this exercise into your day, and over time you will notice that you will approach the world in a more mindful way. Slow living is not about doing everything at a snail's pace. It's about finding a rhythm that allows us to live a more intentional and fulfilling life. It's about going with the natural rhythm of our body, of the day and the seasons. The rhythm that never rushes but always takes exactly the time it needs for everything. It's a personal journey, so take your time and find what works best for you. But you can take the first step of your slow living journey right now. I have more videos on slow living on my channel, going more in depth on some of the topics I mentioned, and I'll link them for you below. I'm curious, what's your motivation for living a slower life? Let me know in the comments.